Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Think Business Live. Looking forward to talking with you, David Valentine. And this is going to be a great call because I love everything that you are doing. Your company, Avadel, basically sets up meetings for people. I mean, long story short, it sets up more meetings for people. And with your ideal clients, you can scale. Think community, we have talked about the importance of doubling meetings and getting in front of more people, especially, in an era where you can do Zoom and you can do Teams and you can get in front of people. The more people you meet, the more your pipeline grows in every element of business. So Dave, welcome. So let's talk about setting up meetings, right? So fundamentally, you guys schedule business meetings, but why sometimes do people have a hard time asking for the meeting? Let's start there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't want to be spammy. They are trying to have light touches. I hear a lot, John. I don't want to blow through my total addressable market. I don't want to blow through my lists. I don't want to, leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And it's interesting that people never ask, because what I've found is if you don't ask, then they can't say yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's all based around fear of coming across bad or making a poor first impression.
Yeah. So how does your program work to help them kind of get the courage and confidence they need? And what does that do? Where does it fit into that equation?
Yeah. So what we do is we actually do all the outreach for them. And in order to do the outreach, people have to have the understanding that, like, hey, we're going to be reaching out to your customers. And so we've had people that have established businesses that won't do this. When I say established, I mean they're doing $10 million in revenue, and they're afraid to again, I'm going to use that term that they use with me, blow through their list. And my question is why? A lot of companies have a total addressable market, maybe not in companies, but in decision makers and influencers of those decision makers. 20,000, 30,000 people. It's a lot of people that you are going to have the opportunity to reach out to. You're not going to blow through that list quickly. It's going to take you time.
Yeah.
So what we do is we sit down and we say, hey, listen, what are the things that really help people say, oh, I need that service, that product? Or they say, actually, I absolutely don't need that right now. That's not never. It's not right now. So the thing that we figured out is short emails. We do a lot of cold email. Short emails, 2 to 6 sentences. Breaking down your case studies into this simple formula that I'm about to give. We worked with X client or customer. We got Y result in Z time. If you make that time frame under 90 days, you're going to have a ton of meetings. Why?
Yeah.
People want to understand who you are, what you do as quickly as possible, right? And they want to really be able to say, yeah, I'm in, or no, I'm out. And the second thing that really helps people book meetings and not appear spammy or not appear, have a great offer. I like to call them outrageous offers. Have something that sounds so good that the person that you're talking to goes, oh man, that's fabulous. Are you kidding me? You're going to do that for me? If you do that sort of thing, now you're actually adding value to that person and to that business. And it makes it so that people appreciate and view you differently.
Yeah, I love it. Let's talk about, you're talking a lot about formulas, right? You've said, like, well, our formula for this, our formula for that. How did you come up with I love talking about formulas. I'm a business coach, and I try to break things down into very simple formulas for clients. And so how did you come up with your formulas?
Yeah, honestly, it's sending out about 1 million emails a day. It's sending out over 5 million direct mail pieces in a year to other business owners. It gives us a mountain of data to be able to make intelligent decisions around how we do this and what it looks like. So for us, it's really going, hey, what are the things, what are the items that our best clients use in their outreach? What do they have? And a long time ago, it was like, well, they have very short, sweet, to the point case studies. The other thing that it was when I owned my first agency, 7 years ago now, when I started doing my own cold outreach for that company, I was playing around a lot and I was experimenting with what direct mail works, what emails work, what cold calling work. I did all sorts of different things trying to figure out how do I generate more leads. This product that we've created, this service, it's really born out of 7 years of experience doing it for my first company, selling that, and then starting Avadel. And yeah, it's been a fascinating journey to see the same things hit all the time. And right now, and this is going to be helpful to your audience, Jon, if you don't have an outrageous offer, something that sounds too good to be true, you're going to struggle to book new business development meetings. We've found in the past 3 months that our clients that have an outrageous offer book 3.8 times more meetings on average than our clients that don't have one. So
define outrageous when you're done. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so we work with a lot of marketing agencies, right? I own 8 different companies. I'll use some of my own. So my SDR company guarantees a minimum number of meetings for the year. So they'll say, hey, listen, or the quarter. It depends on how much you want to pay and what you're willing to put skin in the game. But they're like, hey, listen, we'll guarantee X amount of meetings for the quarter, X amount of meetings for the year. If we don't hit it, we'll work for free for 30 days. If we still don't hit it, we'll give you a prorated amount back. So now what have we done? We've eliminated some risk for you. So you're like, well, if I give you this money, am I actually going to get any meetings out of it? Well, yeah, you will, right? Or else we're going to give you the money back. For my flight school, one of the things that we've done
I just want to comment on that. What I love about what you're talking about is not only the offer, but quantifying. I think a lot of times people, sometimes don't even realize it. I see this when I'm coaching people of all different types. They, when they're setting, let's say, even a goal, it's too generic, or it's not specific. It's not measurable. It's not quantifiable. People aren't trained in how to ask questions that quantify, provide content that quantifies, provide offer that quantifies. So, Think Community, we talk a lot about this on this podcast. It's really, really important when you're talking to a client, when you're talking, about your own goals, when you're helping other people write out their goals, you got to be specific and measurable and be able to quantify, right? There's more to this conversation, but I just wanted to kind of highlight the importance of quantifying.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of the things that we do in every business that we own too. So for the flight school, we have 2 offers. We have an offer that gets them in the door. Every flight school in the country has a similar format, which is, hey, come do a discovery flight. It's 30 minutes. We'll take you up in the plane. You can fly around. We'll land. You get to have the experience, and then we're going to sell to you. So for the most part, everyone around the country charges somewhere between $200 and $300 for that 30-minute experience, which is a hefty fee for a lot of people. What we decided to do was make that $49.99. We lose money on that initial flight, but we close 84% of the people that do that program, like do that discovery flight, into at least a $10,000 private pilot's license program. And on the high end, it's a $120,000 program to go all the way through so that they can go get their commercial license and ultimately go fly for the airlines. And we guarantee if they pay X amount that we're going to get them whatever accreditation that they need to move on. And so it's one of the things that we use on a constant basis that really works. Those offers, to your point, Jon, that tie a result to the dollars spent really make a huge difference. And it's what's winning in 2023.
Yeah, I love it. So you've shared a lot about your formula, what you do, some great wisdom as far as the CEO of Avadel. Let's talk a little bit about life for a minute. You're 29 years old, you visit a doctor, you're on the verge of having a heart attack, and you had to kind of retool, rebalance, and get your life in order, and not in order, but kind of it prioritize things differently. And so just kind of talk about what that journey looked like to kind of rebuild things. So, there was less stress in it, and you could enjoy without worrying about having a heart attack.
Yeah. I mean, essentially what I started doing was I began to, in high school, I was a multi-sport varsity athlete. And as I got to my late 20s, I had started a business. We were doing 7 figures by that time. I had 2 small kiddos, and I had been married for a while, and I did what most people do. I had stopped doing the practices that keep me healthy. So I had to start to reintroduce those. At this point in time, I meditate daily. It's supremely helpful.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
the greatest. I mean, meditation. It's the first thing I do every morning when I wake up. It's great. Yeah.
I started to measure my heart rate variability, my resting heart rate on the mornings that I meditate first thing when I wake up versus on the mornings when I don't. It's such a massive difference in my heart health when I meditate first thing in the morning. I mean, empirically, the data shows I'm a better, healthier human physically when I meditate first thing in the morning than when I don't.
Yeah.
So I meditate every day. I work out 5 to 7 days a week. I sauna 3 or 4 days a week. I do cold plunges. That took time for me to build up from going from where I was at 29 and not doing any of those practices to building up to doing those practices. The other thing that I did as well, John, was I moved to the lake. I moved to a lake in Texas that's absolutely stunning and gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then just last year, we bought a house up in Washington State that we could spend some time in the mountains, on the river, in the woods. And so we come up here on occasion, and then we spend most of our time on the lake in Texas. And it's a fabulous experience to be out in nature, to be by water, to see trees. And it honestly has lowered cortisol levels. I feel better. All the good measuring sticks are up and to the right. So
good for you. Good. I love it. Good. That's a great story. I meditate. I have an infrared sauna at my house that I do, most days. It's great. And thanks for sharing that. All right. Quick speed round. A book, Dave, a book, an article, or a TED Talk that's had a big impact on you.
Yeah, so I'm going to do one, John, that I bet no one has ever talked about in the business sense on your podcast.
Yeah.
So this book, Ram Dass, Grist for the Mill, I find incredibly helpful in the business space because it reminds me that we're all interconnected, that anything that I do actually directly impacts what you're up to, John. And so how can I be loving, open, spacious, mindful of the fact that all of my actions really do have an impact on other people, and at the same time navigate the world on this plane where people are selfish and sometimes just downright mean. How do I do that? And so it's actually an incredibly helpful book for me in business and in life.
It's great. Good. I love it. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received?
This too shall pass. Whether it's good or bad, right? You could be like, oh man, we just had our best sales month ever. This is amazing. This too shall pass, right? I had a great mentor once tell me, probably 8 years ago now, he's like, Dave, I'm telling you, you're going to do this. You're going to go up and you're going to hit a plateau and you're going to think, man, we are just going to keep going up. And he's like, and then you're going to come down a little bit and you'll come back up. And I've found in business that the most successful people that you and I could possibly know, it's never just up and to the right. It never is. It's a fallacy to think that way. So enjoy the lows because those will not be here forever, and enjoy the highs because they will not be here forever either.
Yeah, good. I love it. Tell everybody who your ideal clients are and how they can connect with you, Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for Avadel, our ideal clients are agency owners, agencies in general, marketing, advertising, website design. It's also SaaS products. We work with a lot of SaaS products that are doing high ticket SaaS options when they're reaching out to big companies. We also work with a lot of recruiters. Interestingly enough, they're trying to get high ticket sales going. Anyone that's doing high ticket sales in the B2B space is actually a good fit for us. We've worked with a lot of diverse companies, including wholesale cannabis companies. So there's like this whole random space that we work with as well. But anyone that has a high ticket, high volume sort of need for meetings booked, they're a great candidate for us. You can reach out to me, David@Avadel.agency, and I'll be sure to send them straight to the line to have a call with our head of sales, and we'll give them a special deal if they book a meeting through me. So
love it. Well, Dave, I appreciate you taking time to be on the podcast because Think Community, as you know, I'm a business coach. I'm a sales coach. I'm an executive advisor, and I work with people who are successful and stuck and get them unstuck. What I love about this podcast, Dave, is I get to have guests like you on who can continually get people unstuck. And you said a lot of things, but I just want to extract. I always like to extract kind of one thing, which is how you quantified the power of meditation, right, in your day and in your heart health. And Think Community, without our health, we are nothing. And meditation, which is something I love to do, I love to talk about. I'm glad that you shared. I'm glad you quantified that. I mean, we talked about quantifying things earlier, but I'm glad you quantified that. Dave, do you give people your website one more time?
It's Avadel, Avadel.agency.
Great. And Think Community, I'm at jondwoskin.com. Feel free to share this with anybody, review it, rate it. We would love it. And Dave, thanks. This was a great talk. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad your businesses are thriving. You provide a great service for people to scale. Think Community, meetings are critical. Double your meetings, double your asks, double everything in your business right now. It's a competitive, distracted market right now, and people need to be face to face with you and talk to you and have you guide them and advise them to the solutions that answer to their pain. And meetings are the best first step. Dave, thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, John. It's been fun.